Yeah, fellas, welcome to the show. I want to share with you guys a post that was posted on my forum yesterday by Lord Immaculate. I noticed that on TV commercials, they're putting these super skinny flannel shirt wearing and black frame glasses wearing hipster faggots with smoking hot girls. The kinds of bitch made cuckold sacks of liquid shit that look like they work at Starbucks. Call it cracked me up, so I'm sharing this with you. Calling large coffee a venti. The fuck is that? He says. Or writes. I'm so glad for evolution because no matter how hard they tried to promote these narrow rib cage, droopy hat wearing, parliament cigarette smoking, pseudo intellectual bitch ass motherfuckers, they cannot overwrite what evolution has caused us to respect and for what women are actually or are attracted to instinctually. And that is true. They are trying to sell the skinny foppish characters in the media today. In Hollywood, they're pushing the skinny, confused, boyish looking male. Look at the TV show called The Magician. Guy's totally androgynous. He has no masculinity at all. None. This is the worst that's actually gotten on TV, is that character. They started pushing the nerds back in the early 2000s, and I've seen it grow and grow and grow. So now they're pushing just totally androgynous looking motherfuckers in acting. Remember I came from the generation where that Aviance commercial was? They showed the woman going out working the job, like mailed the bacon, Friday in the pants, came home, cooked the food, and then she sexed her man up. The real women. And of course the feminists, the feminazis, they were objecting to that commercial back in my days. And the news was reporting on it. So the Aviance company, they changed the commercial. They added a certain line every now and then, I need a helping hand. So they showed the guy helping in the kitchen, holding the baby, taking the baby. Basically, he was becoming feminized. Then they went to a third version, which I blocked out of my mind. I wouldn't watch the commercial anymore. I used to love the commercial. Every time it came on, I'd get all happy and see, to my ex-wife, this is how it is. It's been a long road. The feminization program that's happened to you guys under 40, it's been a long road for them, but they've got there with you. They took you there. They feminized a lot of you. That's why many of you guys are having trouble attracting women. You don't realize that you've been feminized. You have feminine ways, feminine traits that women notice. And it's a turnoff to them. It will always be a turnoff to them. Even though the opposite of the program was to make these women, same under 40, more masculine. That's why they'll go up to a real attractive guy and ask them to dance now. That's masculine energy. They'll stare at them. Women used to look and glance away. That was part of being a woman. They used to have these schools called grade schools where they taught women how to walk. They put a book on their head, that type of thing. Walk how to sit. What forks to use. They had those back in the days. You got nothing near that close anymore. The world has changed and gotten more and more fucked up. The more we have this weird sexual energy on the planet, the stranger the planet has become. Homosexuals now are running shit. They're telling us what's normal. Wow. From a group that was considered abnormal until they got it changed, they had someone on the inside change it within the medical directory from the same group. Then now they're the power out there. He goes, I'm so glad for evolution because no matter how hard they try to promote these narrow ribcage, droopy hat wearing, parliament cigarette smoking, pseudo-intellectual bitch-ass motherfuckers, they cannot overwrite what evolution has caused us to respect and for what women are attracted to instinctually. I get to say that again. Attracted to instinctually. That's the way it is. Women like men. They're attracted to men. They're attracted to male energy. If you grew up in the 90s and 2000s, you've been feminized. Sorry. It's the way it is. I asked a few people about this trend. One hippie dude says this is because the new males are taking over. And that's what Hollywood's pushing, the image of the new males taking over. But if you actually go into the real world, go to companies out there, entrepreneurs, they're not nothing like that. I'm sure there's some software engineers out there, skinny, narrow rib cage fuckers, start to do software programs. But we go to sticks and bricks businesses, nah. Those are old-fashioned type males. So they want to give the image that they are taking over. There's no need for warriors, this hippie dude said, and aggressive types due to technological advances and because we are in a spiritual enlightenment change on this planet. And the last part is very, very true. We are in a spiritual enlightenment change on the planet. We're leaving the age of the fish, those Jesus calls the fishermen, the age of the fish, and we're going into the age of Aquarian. Basically, the planet has sped up. When I first started doing this podcast, it's now at 13 cycles. It was at 10. I think it was at 10 when I first started doing these shows. And they predicted it would stop and get to 13, which is the spiritual, the heartfelt. Everything has energy, right? Everything has vibration. So they're measuring the electrical vibration of the planet. It's now at what they call the level of the heart, or spiritual. But we still need our aggressive types. Look at the planet right now. Where is there not a war going on? Shit. So it's not there yet. It won't be there in my lifetime, nor your lifetime. But that's what's coming down. It needs things to happen. For example, or one thing needs to happen, which must happen first, and that's for the dominant society to become more spiritual and self-aware. Until then, it's not going to happen. He writes, I felt like murdering him. It's interesting to see someone who had my thoughts. How dare he try to say that nerds are the new men? In sci-fi books, that's what they predicted when I was a kid. In fact, I read one book where women ruled in the future and men were as passive as the women of yesterday. They're like little sheep. Women use them for breeding purposes. And then this one guy from my time period suddenly wakes up in their time period. And that's when the fun begins. You got an alpha male type waking up amongst these zeta males, these real passive mind programmed fuck males. Well, number one, women will never rule the planet. There will always be aggressive males. Unfortunately, mankind can't get along without aggressive males. And I'm not a warrior type. I don't want to fight, as I said in my show today that I did on this. So let's continue. How dare he try to say that nerds are the new men? He went on to say that qualities like wittiness in conversation, sarcasm, and under-the-radar tactics are the new alpha male behaviors. Wittiness has always been an alpha male behavior. Cracking jokes on everybody, cracking jokes on females, that's always been. And sarcasm. They're not under the radar, they're part of a player's package, actually. So the guy got it wrong there. Male behaviors rather than direct confrontation and guerrilla warfare. Intelligence is now what's in and has value, and brawn is outdated and overrated. So the little scrimey, that's my word, scrimey, that'd be slimy and crummy. Scrimey little nerds think. Sorry if you're one of them. Again, sorry if you're one of them. That's your choice to be like that. You can change, as I did. as others have done. I rebutted with my own opinion, which is that brains and brawn are both important, and no amount of witty banter and mocha lattes and passive aggressive behavior or computer skills will matter if there is an apocalypse and technology shuts down. And that is very true. The actual new male is going to be the male that's a combination of the both of them. As I said in my show today, he'll be like the quarterback who has the intelligence and the brawn. That's the new male. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Little big head geeks, they're not going to run the planet. They'll be working for the men that run the planet. Number one, it takes aggressiveness to run shit, to take charge. So the aggressive behavior would not be bred out. Big head geeks will still always work for those that are more aggressive. Okay? So don't be afraid. Where was I? Yeah. If there was an apocalypse, as I said in my show today, and I'm left around, I'm taking over. I'm fucking everybody's female. If you want them passive motherfuckers, I'm a bitch slap you and take your woman from you. Put my collar on her damn neck. Because I'd rather see a bunch of me's running around breeding with all these women than a bunch of yous. Because you end up in a dead end. Let's see. How will the nerds function without the internet, without their morning chai lattes? You know, nerds won't actually drink chai lattes. They actually drink supersonic coffee drinks with a ton of what do you call it, espresso in it to get them big brains fired up. I used to hang out at Starbucks. That's where I was doing some of my gaming. ZenMac members, if you are skinny with no muscle, do not buy into the image that looking like a manlet is cool. Do not wear those black rim reading glasses. Yeah, I hate those. And all your flannel shirts should be burned. Actually, flannel shirts are for big, tough guys. Lumberjack dudes. Not for scrawny guys with the shirts falling off their shoulders. And it's your choice to stay that way. You can make yourself bigger. You can grow your muscles. You can become the uber male. Should be burned work out, cultivate both brains and brawn, because when the apocalypse hits, you will not have Starbucks nor a computer to help you. Now, we don't know if the apocalypse is really going to come around. I don't foresee some big war unless Trump gets in office. Then I see, World War III coming. But I don't believe he's actually going to make it. He's fucking up too much now. But I do see him as a catalyst. He's actually bringing black and white together. Not on his side, but on the opposite side. Because there are white people now standing with Black Lives Matters. Now, what the opposition did is they threw in that whole fake phrase, all lives matter. And they tried to, take away the fact that these cops are actually killing unarmed blacks. That's all they want. They don't give a fuck about the raiding gangbangers and drug houses and killing everybody in the house. They just want them to stop brutalizing unarmed black males. That's all that whole movie's about. Stop fucking them up and killing them. That's it. Of course, the opposition, which is the dominant society's people that live in fear. These people, as I said in my show today, the reason why they react this way, the racist types, they're in fear. They're in fear of their race being bred out of existence. They're in fear of losing power. They want this whole system of white supremacy to stay in power. It makes them feel good. Imagine if the whole system fell down and everybody became equal. They wouldn't have the power, that good feeling they wake up with every morning, like Louis C.K. said. this being white is the shit. I'm signing up for this every year. So they live in fear of that falling. And that's why they do the evil things they do. So I don't see a World War III happening. More as I do see the dominant society becoming more spiritual and waking up and analyzing themselves and noticing the people that are living in fear and helping them with their fear issues adjust. Because when Black Lives Matter has attracted, white folks to stand on the same line or go off on their own and say, stop killing these black people. These unarmed black people, sorry. Not stop killing black people, but stop killing unarmed black people. You got to make sure you add that unarmed part to it. Otherwise, it looks like it's just some race serving. Stop killing unarmed black people. And yes, they do kill every now and then a couple of white folks, and they're now starting to fuck white folks up too physically. But the percentage of unarmed blacks they kill is way the fuck over. Like one a day since 2006. It's gotten worse since Obama has been in office. I've been talking, white folks have been telling me that. They've noticed that. I said a white woman the other day tell me, one of my clients, it's gotten really worse since Obama has been in office. And she's in her late 60s. And that's because the people in fear, who live in fear, which unfortunately ran to the Republican Party also. So we can't blame the Republican Party. We can blame the people that ran to that party that are in fear, that cause so many problems. They put out a lot of misinformation to control the minds of the people that are Republicans and influence and keep them under wraps. And that's unfortunate. But eventually the dominant race is going to wake up and become more spiritual, as they're doing now. And we'll see an end to the whole structure of white supremacy. It'll start to fall. But it takes other things happening on the planet. For example, black folks need to also wake up and learn our lessons. We're the ones that keep white supremacy in power. Without us, it wouldn't be in power. It's about time someone, started to point this shit out. It's easy to figure out. White supremacy developed on our backs. Practiced for the last 400 years in this country. It was starting to grow before that. Remember they went back and whitewashed all of the biblical stuff? They were growing the power. So the dominant race got to wake up and realize this is what was done. It was done for a purpose to keep them in power. And then realize, okay, we don't need this stuff anymore. We can all become equal. That's what it's going to take, because they are the leaders on the planet, as I said in my show today. The dominant race are the leaders. The white folks are the leaders on the planet. It doesn't do any good to, work on the bottom feeders, the black race and all that. And don't give me that. If you're black, don't give me bullshit. I'm keeping it real. It has to happen at the top with the leaders. So the leaders can lead us into a better life on the planet. Okay? So I'm not picking on any race. I'm not race baiting. I'm not calling white folks evil. None of that shit. Just giving the brutal truth. There will not be a nation of nerds running things, because nerds don't have the aggressive energy that it takes to be leaders. So you forget that shit. I don't see a world ran by women either. I want to thank Lord Immaculate. Nice post. It made me laugh. But there's some truth to it. I talked about the show Lucifer. Look how feminine Lucifer is on that show. He's supposed to be the devil. But they put an English dude in there with the English accent. Because here in America, we interpret the English as being very weak and very foppish. We don't see the tough English guys, the Cockney types, and all that. We only get the picture of Pass the Grey Poupon, those types. Although I know there's other types. Okay. I believe I talked about the show The Magician. Look how weak that motherfucker looks. Just totally androgynous, like a faggot. They've created this type of male on the planet. Before that, there was nobody like that. I had never seen someone like that. Jay On, you have that energy in you. When you do this, I don't know. I'm so confused. That's how girls were. They programmed you to act that way. That's a program that you're running. And you bit into it. You've got to reprogram yourself from that feminine behavior. I have never seen a man act that way, Jayon. I have never, ever, ever seen someone act that bad. And so I met you. Then I realized, damn, the program got through. Because that's how women were. They started flipping the script in Hollywood back in the late 80s. They started making the man the confused one. Before that, like, take a scene where the man's driving somewhere and he knows, the men always knew where they were going and how to get there. Then they started flipping the script. The man's confused and the woman's over there figuring it out. Pretty soon, now we have the woman driving and now the man's sitting there all confused and helpless. They started having, in TV shows, women saving men. Women with the guns, men cowering. These images got into our minds and has programmed us. So you got to wake up to what's going on. They're programming men to become very feminine. All because of the homosexual agenda. That gives them more feminine males. See, once you start seeking that feminine energy, you're more open to taking some dick. Like a female. It's that simple. Now they'll have more booties to slam. As I said in my show today, you know, a man's got a lot of shit in his ass. That's a shitty deal right there. Slamming some man ass, you're going to hit some shit. I mean, raw shit. That's a shitty deal. And my dick don't like shitty deals. So, as we wake up and realize what's going on, hopefully you guys will start to make better decisions in your life. It's all about choices. Make better choices on what you do. How you want to live your life, how you run your life. And again, unfortunately, women don't like that feminine male. She's a woman. She's attracted to masculinity. Remember, they're the opposite. Feminine, masculine, yin yang. They tried to fuck it up. Women are a little bit more masculine these days. That's why you see them, they'll run up to a hot guy and ask him to dance. I've had women try to buy me drinks. Actually, I let them buy them, but whatever. Had a woman come up to me. Whoa. I mean, like, whoa. This is going back to early 2000s when the shit was starting to happen. Like, whoa. So, you become more feminine, they become more masculine. Except their instinct is still to be attracted to a masculine male. That's what they're looking for these doms, these dominant males. That's why that book that on domination, all that kind of shit was so popular. The movie, not so much, but the book, when we started reading it, they're looking for that dominant male to come back on the planet. That's why Grease is so successful. That's what he's portraying and being to them. That's his inner nature now. He's learned to gravitate to that energy, to go to that energy. And look how he's living his life now. It's about time you start to gravitate to your masculinity, fellas. Think about it. I realize a lot of you guys have been programmed by your schools, by by the media, by your peer groups. I was getting attacked and called homophobe on that site So Suave in early 2004, 2005. Why are you a homophobe? I'm not afraid of fags. I'm not phobic about fear of fags. I don't hate fags. Let them butt slam each other. Just keep the shit out of my face. Keep it out of my TV shows. Stop the agenda. And be who you are. That's what I believe in. You know, part of the agenda is also to get at your young brothers and sisters. Because they believe that they're asking for it. They believe that your 7-year-old little brother is asking for it. In some way. No. They're children. Leave the children alone. I go on about the subject, but I don't want to start ranting here. Make your decisions, fellas. You gonna be a man or a mon? That's a feminized male, according to Arthur Gordon.